going. She looked up at me and said, I'm finding it hard to breathe. I called 911. It was like the longest 3 or 4 minutes ever in the history of the world. And she was not responsive. The fingernails started blue, her lips were blue. She just wouldn't answer, and her eyes were like half closed and leaning over, and drool hanging out of her mouth. And I didn't know whether I'd ever see her again after she got in that ambulance.
The dean of the school came in and asked me to come out because I had a family emergency, and told me to get my books. So I left in the middle of the class and rushed out. Liz was in the waiting room, and she told me as I was coming down the stairs that Grandma had stopped breathing.
We are in the emergency room, and she's going to be admitted for a few days. We had accompanied Mom up to the ICU. They took her in, and we had to go in a waiting room, and a nurse came in and was taking down information. And over the loudspeaker comes, "Code Blue, ICU." And she says, "Excuse me," and she walked out.
We're sitting in the waiting room for the ICU, and the nurse is talking to us and getting information, and they call over the intercom, "Code Blue, Code Blue," for ICU, and everyone went running off, and all Mom can say is, "Please don't let it be her, please."
It was kind of a tense few moments there.
I just don't want it to be her.
Came back, she says, "It wasn't your family member."
It wasn't her.
That's what they did.
I see that.
Yeah. I'm glad you're feeling better.
All in all, it came down to doctor treating her for congestive heart failure and respiratory problems.
One thing that's kind of a problem is that my grandma has dementia.
She's, going on 97, and her short-term memory is not hardly there anymore.
Kind of like Alzheimer's disease.
She also gets very confused, and toward the end of the day, she gets very agitated and worked up.
So she forgets where she is sometimes and who people are, and she gets kind of confused, and she can get scared. And we're scared that if she wakes up in the hospital, that it's going to be kind of traumatic for her. Okay, so she's out of the intensive care, and now she's in just a regular hospital room. She's going to stay there for a couple days, and we'll see how she does.
You made me feel better.
Okay, so Grandma ripped out her catheter, ripped out her IV, ripped out everything, and tried to jump out of bed a couple times and put a big up fight to 2 different guys to get her down. They've got her restrained in the bed, and she's starting. One of the major problems with dementia is paranoid delusions. For instance, my grandma has the delusion sometimes that my mom is trying to steal her money and her identity and essentially take over her life. So this can lead to some pretty big problems.
Yeah, I brought them in case you wanted.
Why did you take those letters off my wall?
Because you were going to come to North Carolina, I thought you wanted to have them. So we brought them up.
No, I didn't want them. I wanted them in my possession. They're not. They're not in my possession.
I gave you one of them and you ripped it up and threw it away. So
I
didn't
did
give
not.
you any more.
I
See,
wouldn't
this
do
is the way
that.
it goes.
Not
And
with those
I
boys.
try to walk away and
Those boys throw it to me, and they
she's
take
going
me
to get
for the
another
money.
DQ that's doing it.
The Indians, the Indians
Yeah,
throw
that
to
was
me.
I'm glad the doctor is finally going to give her something for agitation. If she doesn't get all worked up, then she will keep going further and further and further. So maybe you'll stop this ranting and raving before it really starts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's too easy for you. Maybe we need to get you some ankle weights. Yeah, before I even got here, somebody decided if we painted the walkers and made them real ugly, maybe nobody would steal them.
That was the plan.
They uglied it up real nice.
Well, it's still here, so...
Grandma? No, Grandma.
We don't put our foot on it.
What are you doing?
How do you feel going for this walk?
I feel fine.
Good. Great. Will you let me know if you feel tired?
Yeah, if I'll be glad when this is all over with.
Yeah.
How are you?
It's fine.
Okay, so Grandma's home. Yay! They checked her out of the hospital this morning. So, she's still really weak, but they say she's gonna be okay. So let's go see her. Hi, Grandma!